Hindi or Urdu version is in description.
It was the last night of the year 2020. The city of Mumbai was alive. Lights, laughter, and celebration filled the sky. In one apartment building in Khar West, a group of young friends gathered to welcome the new year. There was music, dancing, and joy. But by morning, the floor of that same building was covered in blood. A 19-year-old girl lay motionless. Her body showed signs of struggle. 48 injuries in total. No one saw what happened. Only her friends were there, and they were later seen running away in blood-stained clothes. It is not just a story of a murder, it is a story of trust, betrayal, jealousy, and how one night changed everything. This is the case of Jhanvi Kukreja, a girl who went out to celebrate New Year's after her father's birthday and never came back. December 31st, 2020, Khar West, Mumbai. In a building named Bhagwati Heights, a group of teenagers hosted a terrace party on the 10th floor. Around 14 to 15 guests attended. Most were college students, ready to welcome 2021 with music, snacks, and firework. Among them were three people, connected by friendship and soon by tragedy. Jhanvi Kukreja, Diya and Shree. Jhanvi, just 19, was a psychology student at Jai Hind College. She lived in Santa Cruz with her parents and young sister. She was known for her kindness, her intelligence, and her calm nature. Her friends said she was responsible, the kind of girl who always took care of everyone else before herself. That night, Janvi hadn't even planned to go. She wanted to stay at home, celebrate her father's birthday quietly. But her friends kept insisting, "Just one party, Janvi, it's New Year's, come with us." She finally agreed. She didn't know that this one decision would be her last. Among her closest friends was Diya, also 19, her childhood best friend. They grew up together, their families knew each other for years. But things began to change in September 2020 when a new person entered their circle, Shree. Shree was 22, a catering student from Vadala. He was confident, social, and quickly became close to both Janvi and Diya. Some believed he was Janvi's boyfriend, though nothing was confirmed. They were often seen together, and Janvi trusted him deeply. But when three people get too close, feelings get complicated. Jealousy and insecurity begin to grow quietly until they explode. Police would later discover that Shree had a history of aggression, one involving shop vendor and other with taxi driver. He had a short temper, but Janvi didn't see the red flags because sometimes affection blinds you to the danger, and that blindness cost her life. The party was hosted by Yash Ahuja, a 19-year-old resident of the same building. He later told police that Shree wasn't even invited because of his behaviors in past gatherings. But Janvi insisted, "If Shree doesn't come, I won't either." She even paid his entry fee. At 7:45 p.m., Janvi and Dia left briefly. It was her father's birthday. They went home, cut the cake, smiled for photos, and returned to party by 12:15 a.m., just 15 minutes into the new year. It was supposed to be a night of laughter, but something was already about to break. Around 12:30 a.m., witnesses noticed something that shattered Janvi completely. Diya and Shree were seen getting close, very close. Some guests said they even kissed. When Janvi saw it, she froze. Her best friend and the boy she loved together. It was like watching her world fall apart in a single moment. At 1:30 a.m., Janvi called one of her friends. She said, "Diya is getting close to Shree, and I didn't like it." That was her last phone call. At 1:40 a.m., she was seen outside Yash's apartment, still crying. That was the last time anyone saw her alive. Between 1:45 to 2:15 a.m., things took dark turn. There were no witnesses, only traces of what happened next. Janvi, Diya, and Shree left the terrace, taking the stairs instead of the lift. They were arguing. The argument began on the 10th floor, grew worse by the 8th, and by the 5th, it turned violent. Investigators later found Janvi's earrings, footwear, and hairband scattered across the stairs. Signs of a brutal struggle, blood on the railing, strands of her hair caught in the banister. The charge sheet said Diya and Shree began assaulting the victim. Janvi tried to defend herself and fought back. During the scuffle, her head was banged against the railing. By the time they reached the ground floor, it was over. Janvi's skull had fractured, her body giving up from the injuries. She had fought till her last breath. If you have made it this far, take a pause, like the video, and consider subscribing to the channel so that you won't miss out any content. At 2:15 a.m., CCTV captured Shree leaving the building, his white shirt torn and soaked in blood, limping. He had injuries, a head wound, broken ribs, and spinal displacement. He walked 1.6 km to Linking Road, hailed a taxi, and went to Sion Hospital. At 2:22 a.m., Diya was also seen leaving into CCTV. Minutes later, a woman walking her dog saw blood on stairs. Following the trail, she found Janvi's body lying in the pool of blood near the ground floor. She screamed for help. The host, Yash, rushed down and called the police. By 3 a.m., officers arrived and took Janvi's body to Papa Hospital, where she was declared death on arrival. It means she was already dead by the time she was taken to the hospital. The first sunrise of 2021 had taken a life too young to fade. At 5 a.m., Shree walked into Khar police station, still covered in blood. He claimed he remembered nothing. Diya was arrested the same day. Both were charged with murders. Over the next days, police reconstructed the entire crime scene with forensic experts. They collected DNA, blood, and hair samples from every floor. 14 witnesses were questioned. None had seen the fight directly. The post-mortem confirmed 48 injuries, but no other sign of assault, just pure violence fueled by rage. The blood on Shree's shirt belonged to both him and Jhanvi. Jhanvi's mother, Nidhi Kukreja, refused to stay silent. She fought relentlessly for justice, saying, "My daughter was murdered deliberately, not by accident." She filed petitions, gathered support, and hashtag Justice for Jhanvi began trending across social media. On March 30th, 2021, police submitted charge sheet with witnesses, forensic records, and CCTV footage. But the trial moved painfully slow. In June 2021, Diya Podalkar was granted bail, citing lack of direct evidence. The CCTV didn't show her during the exact moment of assault. Janvi's family felt betrayed once again, justice delayed and perhaps denied. The case still remains unsolved. Years have passed, but Janvi's parents still fight, hoping one day the truth will finally be proven. At the end of this video, the message is this: learn to recognize who your real friends are. Not everyone who shakes your hand is truly your friend. And parents also need to take responsibility. Give your child freedom, yes, but also keep an eye on what they are doing with their lives and the kind of people they are spending time with. Every new year brings promises of new beginnings, but for one family, January 1st, 2021 will always mean loss. The day their daughter never came home. Janvi's story isn't just about a crime, it's about how fragile trust can be and how easily love and jealousy can destroy lives. If there's one thing this case teaches, it's that anger, ego, and impulsive decisions can ruin more than one life in an instant. Justice may take time, but memory never fades. And somewhere in Mumbai, a mother still waits for her daughter's justice. If you like this video, then I would request you to check out our other videos as well. The link is in description.